everyone. I'm Dave Zabinski. I'm here to talk to you today about Sagenda. First, I want to answer a simple question. What is Sagenda? At a high level, Sagenda is a social, casual, fun event collaboration tool for planning events and connecting with restaurants and other venues to get new opportunities to have fun and new deals. So, who has this kind of problem? Well, take a look at Parker here. Parker is in this class. He's what I like to call an instigator. He has a lot of friends. He loves to go out on the weekends with those friends and plan events, but they don't all live in the same building. They don't all live in the same apartment. He has to regularly go through the headache of planning these events with the friends. So when he does this, he usually thinks about the basics. Who's he going to invite? Where's he going to go? And when are they going to do it? He has to take into account the considerations of all those people that he's invited. So the usual way he would go about doing this is sending an email, maybe making a phone call, sending a text message. This is the casual, easy way that most people that we've talked to set up their events. People don't tend to go to the official sites for doing things like this. They stick to the old standbys. Now, the nice thing about the old standbys is they're quick and easy. The downside is they get really complex really fast. You've got an email thread keeping track of things, phone and text messages even worse. The typical user goes through this, doesn't like it, and therefore their solution is to have less fun, go out less often, and have less variety in terms of the locations they go to and the times that are available for their friends to go out, so they have less people going with them. There's another half of this problem. What about the restaurants and the other venue managers for the kind of places that Parker and his friends might like to go? Well, as long as they're not a mom and pop business, they're looking to expand their customer base. They have pretty good margins. They want to get more people in to increase their profit at times when they're not already busy. So when they think about this problem, they think, how can I get butts in seats? How can I get them in at non-peak hours? And how can I get the right customers? People like Parker, who want to go in there and actually spend some money and have fun, rather than just spend a coupon or something like that and that's it. So the ideal solution for these folks is something like Sagenda, something that marries the event collaboration process with the ability to connect with really cool venues and get access to some pretty cool experiences and some pretty cool deals. How does that work? Let's take a look at the solution. Sagenda. So, Parker's a user of Sagenda. He likes it. He found out about it in his class. So he's already logged in. He's already connected via Facebook with his login and via Gmail with his contacts. He's going to go ahead and create an event. And he's going to do it on the full screen. And he's going to recommend that we practice with the equipment next week. So we know that this kind of thing won't happen. Then he's going to make it worse.
Now on the PC, you just double click it and it sizes it.
Curse you, Macintosh. You got to move it up to the left. Yeah, good now.
Really? You have to resize it.
You got to resize it.
Yeah, well, you can if you're only single, but they seem to be, not.
But even if you're double monitor, like on a Windows machine with two monitors, and they use all the time, it sizes to that monitor.
Excellent technique, Dave. Get the crowd engaged in your technical issues.
Yeah, thank you, crowd, for offering suggestions. It's an obvious suggestion, evidently being switched back to working with the PC. All right, so he's hit the site. He's planning an event. He's going to specify a title. Maybe he's going to go out to dinner this weekend to celebrate his graduation. He's graduating along with me in a couple of weeks. Blast hurrah with his friends. Next, he's going to move on and select a couple of dates that work. Maybe this Friday a couple of times, and this Saturday a couple of times. He knows his friends are starting to finish up with all their projects. Their big new invention project's finishing up. So he wants to put a couple of times out there, but not too many. And then he's going to specify who he wants to come. He wants to invite his friend Todd Kincaid, who is a connection via Gmail. And he wants to invite maybe some other friends from class, maybe Dave Zabinski and Amir. So, after he selected the people that he wants to take part, he's going to specify the where. There's a couple different places he might want to go for dinner. Maybe the Celtic Knots, nice place in Evanston. And maybe he's going to go to Pete Miller's, a pretty popular Kellogg spot. And he's going to say Pete Miller's again with a single tick. There we go. Pete Miller's with 2 L's and a single tick. We need to practice this. Fantastic. All right. Well, as a result of him entering in Pete Miller's, Sagenda noticed that he was going to some places that serve good dinner in Evanston and suggested, hey, the Quince is actually, Quince rather, is in Evanston, offers the same kind of fare, and has a 20% off deal for users of Sagenda. That sounds fantastic. Parker goes ahead and clicks on that to add it as an option. And maybe you can go ahead and delete the other two Pete Millers that don't really exist. They're spelled wrong. I don't know why they are. So he's got the locations that he likes, and he'll click submit to send the email to his friends. All right. Now his friends, including Todd, have gotten that email, and they can all collaborate via the link in the email to vote on the options they like the best for both time and location. Now Parker's already an invitee, obviously he organized it, so he's going to go ahead and specify the locations that he likes and the times that he likes the best. And then as soon as Todd, who has just received the email, clicks the link and specifies his votes, he can refresh. Todd usually gives some sort of vocalization when this happens. All right, that sounds like it. He refreshes and he can see that 2 people now have voted for the Quints and 2 people have voted for Pete Millers. Well, as it turns out, he actually doesn't care about anybody else he invited except for Todd. So he's going to go ahead and confirm, finalize the time and location. He'll specify the specific location and time that work the best for his friends. This way he can override the friends if there's some contention. And he clicks confirm. Everyone gets an email with a meeting invite to synchronize with their calendar. They collaborate on an event quick and easy. Now, I want to call out, let's go back to the presentation. I want to call out a couple of features that you just saw there, or a couple of different attributes, I should say, specifically around suggestions. What we saw there was Parker's behavior changing. He had a couple of options out there, and the suggestion came up to get him to add something else to the list. In fact, the something that they eventually decided on. That's the kind of value proposition we have to the advertisers on Sagenda. They can get triggers, they can build triggers to show these options and have them just show up there and easily add them to events. Next slide. Those triggers can be the date and time that the event is occurring, the kind of locations they're specifying, the preferences of the people who are invited, the number of people who are invited. We can compel users to add more invitees by giving them a coupon that's for a minimum dollar amount, like a deal with Groupon at a very high dollar amount. So there's a lot of different possibilities here to get triggered. This helps our value proposition for advertisers to make it really compelling for them to integrate with Sagenda. So I've talked about how Sagenda solves this model for both parties. Now let's talk about a little bit how it works as a business. In order to understand that, we want to understand a little bit of the competitive space. Now for existing event planning solutions, there's some of your standards out here like Facebook Events, Evite, Google Calendar, Outlook. These are all your they don't show deals, they're very simple and straightforward, and they're authoritarian one might even say. They require the organizer to specify upfront, here's what we're doing, you guys are either coming along or you're not. Not very flexible. Sagenda fits in the upper right-hand corner of this quadrant. Not only can you get access to cool new locations, but you get the collaboration on the points that users really care about. In addition, there's a differentiation based on look and feel. When we talk to users, they mention, of course, things like Outlook, but they also mention things like Fast Society, GroupMe, Salsa. These are Waddle, which is mentioned in this class. These are all services focused on the event itself. Texting with friends, sharing photos with friends, all the things you do maybe at a concert, maybe at but all at the event itself. They don't focus like a laser, as Sagenda does, on the actual event planning to make it quick and easy. That's where Sagenda differentiates. It's casual, it's fun, it's quick, it's collaborative. So, next slide. We believe that people just getting Sagenda into people's hands is what's going to drive use. People are going to try it and they're going to really like it. So we just need to make sure that people are aware of it and start using it as an experiment for their various events. How do we do that? Search engine optimization and Facebook advertising are really compelling ways because they help us get at our target demographic. Young people, especially students, lots of friends, highly social, like to go out. We also plan to engage in guerrilla marketing to test this idea out from a marketing perspective because we know how viral it is. We want to get Sagenda onto people's calendars and get them to invite non-Sagenda users and try to compel people to become repeat Sagenda users and compel invitees to become Sagenda organizers. How do we do that? Things as simple as advertising parties and other events where you must become a Sagenda user in order to attend the event, become an invitee and get exposed, all the way up to encouraging people to do repeat use via coupons, even cash back by regularly taking part in Sagenda deals and becoming an organizer if you're an invitee. The nice thing about this is it keeps our costs relatively low while getting the word out and getting people to try this a lot. Next slide. This is talking about the virality I just talked about. Next slide. That drives us to how we make money. We make money, we get revenue at 4 different levels. Where are we at?
10 minutes.
We're at 10 minutes. Okay, I gotta finish up. We make money at 4 different levels. Obviously, we make a percentage of deal revenue. For advertising revenue, we provide value at 3 levels. We collect revenue at 3 levels. When we display a suggestion, that's display advertising. We can collect on that. When a user clicks on a suggestion and adds it to an event, that's click-through advertising. It's enhancing the brand of the advertiser. We can collect on that. And if an event is finalized at a particular location that was advertised, that's actually obviously direct input or direct revenue to the advertiser, and we can collect on that. 3 levels of value, 3 levels of revenue, plus the deals, which is actually the largest. How does this work? As you can see in 2011, we can continue to keep our operations costs low because it's a simple, straightforward site. It can handle, via things like Heroku, a lot of hits because we aren't doing all that much here, technically speaking. So our operation costs are low, and we can, by leveraging the viral method, see how this works and keep our marketing costs low, invest heavily in the first year, and then we've proven out the model. The next step after that is to really push the marketing money to get lots and lots of users in here and drive up that deal revenue. So I've shown you how there's a real problem out there. Sagenda solves it in a differentiated way for 2 parties in a way that can make us money without costing us a lot of money. At this point, I'd like to open it up to questions.